Howdy, Rock Buds. Rock Papa here. Good to be back with you. Grammy and I have been all over the southeastern United States doing family stuff, and we've also done some major renovations to the minimalist cottage, so I haven't been able to be with you, but I'm back, and I thought we would ID some more rocks, so let's go. Let's go find some rocks from the little rock pile. Also, I've been painting pictures. It's just something to keep me sane and to keep my brain going as we go around and do family stuff. But anyway, let's get back to rocks. Here's a rock. Look at that shiny beauty. Isn't that beautiful? Whoops. Okay, I see. What do I see? I see sparkly, shiny stuff. What do you think that is? Yeah, Mira muscovite. And also some white stuff. Like right in here. We're talking white stuff. Okay, so we got that. And look at this pinkish, reddish, purplish stuff. That's kind of cool. Here's what it looks like inside, sideways. Here's some kind of a tannish material here. And if I look closely, I can see some quartz in there. Kind of a lightish colored stuff. Okay. Oh, here's some quartz. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so this is a rock that's got quartz and muscovite in it, but it's got other things in it too. You've probably figured out that this rock is schist. So what is schist? Schist is the metamorphic end product of shale. Or really, you start off with mud, and that gets compacted into a sedimentary rock called shale. Shale gets metamorphosed into a metamorphic rock called slate, which we looked at in another video. Slate gets finally metamorphosed into a semi-shiny rock called phyllite, and finally, after much metamorphism, phyllite becomes schist. And this is a unique kind of schist. This is called quartz muscovite sericite pyrite schist. So how did this rock form? Well, subduction creates and enlarges continents. And when ocean crust subducts beneath a continent, in that process, all kinds of material is created from felsic to mafic. And probably the most felsic material created is tuff, felsic tuff. That's fine grain material blown out of a volcano over a subduction zone. That material water action turns the tuff into sand and mud that settles on the underwater flanks of the volcano, where volcanic vents shoot red hot water through it. And the red hot water brings up elements from the volcanic area down below, like iron and sulfur, and imparts that in the rock. And also all the water present also can turn a lot of the muscovite into sericite. So the key thing to remember with this rock, quartz muscovite pyrite sericite schist, is that it forms in subduction area zones where subduction volcanoes are created. in the process of building continents. And there's just the key to remember is volcanic activity, hydrothermal they call it. Hot water is the material that flushes through and creates this gorgeous rock. Now, prospectors who are looking for gold, silver, and other metals look for this rock, and if they see this rock, then they think, okay, it's very possible that there could be some of these valuable metals, because along with the iron and sulfur that comes up from the volcanic vents deep below, you can also get gold, silver, zinc, copper, and other valuable minerals. So, quartz, muscovite, pyrite, cerussite, schist. Okay. Here's another schist. Let's look at it. Yeah, that ain't too good. Here's a good side of it. See that shiny stuff? Let's see if I can scratch it with my thumbnail. Yeah, I can scratch it with my thumbnail. That also is muscovite. And this also is a quartz muscovite schist. It's not a great specimen, but there's quartz. If you look at cross section there, you could see quartz if it wasn't so dirty. It's kind of a dirty rock. Look on this side. I see some little dots, little dark dots. Those are tiny little garnets. And they tell us the level of metamorphism that has occurred with the schist. How is this schist different from the quartz muscovite pyrite schist? Good question. The way it's different is that this schist formed not in association with volcanic vents. It is just sand and mud that eroded down into a river or a low spot, and then over eons via plate tectonics activity, it was metamorphosed, and that the pressure and heat pressed the muscovite into flat plates like this, smeared it out, and caused those little tiny garnets to form. So the key here is we have two kinds of schist. We've got the kind of schist, quartz muscovite schist, that forms. If you see this kind of schist, you know there was volcanic activity going on with hydrothermal vents happening. And if you see this kind of schist, then you know that this was formed in an area where hydrothermal activity was not happening. It was just pressure and temperature that mashed the muscovite into this flat, shiny plate-like structure. This schist forms in subduction zones where fractional melting occurs and materials blown out of the volcano, then it gets flushed with all these hot fluids. This schist, this schist right here is from the Inner Piedmont tectonic terrain, which, as we know, was a volcanic island chain way back during the Taconic orogeny. This material is from the western Blue Ridge province, and it was associated with the rifting of Rodinia, and during that process, it was not exposed to any kind of hydrothermal vents. And so you can kind of tell the history of these schists just by looking at them. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, next rock from the rock pile. Isn't this gorgeous? Beautiful deep red color with white. There's some white stuff on the back of it. Well, just for the heck of it, let's see if this white stuff is limestone. Excuse me. It's hard to do things with one hand. How do we test for limestone, for calcium carbonate? Well, we use acid. So let's put some acid down here and see what we get. It looks kind of like limestone here. It's not fizzing. No fizzing going on. It's hard for you guys to see, but it's not fizzing. So even though that looks kind of limestoney, it's not. How about this reddish stuff? All right, let me get my knife. See if we can scratch it with a knife, steel knife. I'll scratch it and then I'll show you. I made scratches right there, but it does not hardly scratch at all. I think the knife, that's the knife. So this is hard stuff. And you've probably guessed what it is. So what would you say this is? Yeah, you're right. This is a beautiful hunk of chert. Chert is microcrystalline quartz. They also call it cryptocrystalline quartz. It just means the quartz grains are microscopic in size. And I don't remember where I got this piece of chert, but let's talk about where chert forms. Chert can form in limestone deposits. Let's say you have a layer of limestone that's been laid down, and then over the years, water percolates through that limestone, and it picks up silicon from the limestone and even other places, and over time slowly fills cavities in the limestone with chert. And depending on the mineral impurities in the silicon or silica, you can get colors. This looks like you've got the silica had a lot of iron in it, and that gives this beautiful purplish color to this chert specimen. Chert-like formations can also form in basalt lava because you have a lot of big gas bubbles. After basalt lava cools, you can have very large openings, bubble-shaped openings in it, even huge caves. And over time, silicon-heavy laden water can infiltrate the basalt and get in those openings and create beautiful cryptocrystalline chert formations. The agates or aggies from up in Lake Superior, that's basically what they are, where silicon-laden water infiltrated these big gas openings, former gas bubble openings in basalt lava, and filled them with gorgeous cryptocrystalline quartz. But that's not how this formed. This probably formed in limestone. Chert was very valuable to Native Americans for making all kinds of, and our Paleolithic ancestors, because they made all kinds of tools. Chert is very close to glass, and so if you hit it just right, you can get a razor-sharp edge. Okay, here's our last rock for this particular session. See a lot of irony-looking brown stuff, dirt-looking stuff, although it's hard. It's not dirt, it's hard. And some interesting-looking white stuff here, hunks of white stuff in here. Here's some more of the same. The iron-rich, rocky part, and then this white stuff. Some dark stuff here. Okay, so I'm wondering about the white stuff. Let's test it with the acid and see what happens. It's cold out here, but I think it would still work. The acid will still work. No fizzing. Absolutely no fizzing going on there. So whatever that stuff is, it's not, it doesn't have calcium carbonate in it. So this white stuff does not fizz in acid. There, maybe that's better. But it's soft. Let's see if a nickel can scratch it. Can you see the scratch mark? A nickel scratches it easily, so it's soft. Hardness of 3. Okay, this happens to be barite. And barite is the mineral that they mined, the most important mineral, I'm pretty sure, that they mined in the Cartersville mine that they got from the Shady Dolomite. And barite is usually white, although if crystals can form that are reddish and look like roses, they're called barite roses. I'll be able to show you one of those here. So this is Shady Dolomite. What do they use barite for? Barite is, they get barium from it. You know, if when you go to have your stomach x-rayed, you swallow some barium milkshake. They also make bowling balls out of it, and it's very important as a mud that's used in drilling for oil. I guess the mud, a lubricant mud, when they're drilling for oil. So if you see something like this, especially in the Cambrian rift to drift sequence, where Rodinia had rifted apart and we had the North American continent, which began to sink, and beaches, sandy beaches formed first. As the water rose, mud covered those sandy beaches and became shale. And as the water rose even more, limey mud covered the shale and turned into limestone, and it was later converted, some of it was converted from limestone to dolomite. And that is where the Shady Dolomite came from. Dolomite is magnesium calcium carbonate. And this, the dolomite, I'm assuming that the Shady Dolomite was mineralized by subsequent tectonic activity, tectonic pushing and shoving. The taconic mountain building event probably shoved barite, barium, and other minerals, a lot of iron, into this dolomite and transformed it into this strange-looking thing that contributed a lot to the mining industry in Cartersville, Georgia. So, Shady Dolomite. Okay, most excellent rock buds, that's it for today. This is your Rock Papa saying happy rock cutting, and we'll do some more of this in the next few videos. Papa out.